Time. Who's got time these days? Well, if you watch television or movies for more than about 5 minutes, you're going to see some kind of speed ramp, time remapping, time warping. I want to show you how we can do that in Premiere Pro CS 5.5, and it's really easy to do and really powerful. Not only can we ramp from speed to speed, but we can ramp the ramp itself. I'll also show you how time remapping is compatible from Premiere Pro right into After Effects. And then I want to tease you at the very end with amazing warping of time inside After Effects. I think it's the best way to do it. Let's go have a look. So I'm in Premiere Pro, and I'll just hit play, and you can see this is my buddy Dennis, who you know from Adobe beginner classes on Adobe TV. He let me shoot him walking down the street on a cell phone, and he's being sped up and slowed down. So normally when you have a clip selected and you click on this little triangle, you'll see things like motion and opacity. Well, hidden down here is time remapping speed. And when you have that clip selected up in the top, in our effects controls, you can see not only do we have motion and opacity, but time remapping is always in this panel. And it's normally not keyframe, and it's set to 100%. But I'm actually keyframing this down inside here, and if I want, I can pop this open and see things inside there. I'm just going to close that up and just show it to you. But what I want to show you is that if I'm in the middle here, notice how I've set this to 535%. At the beginning, he's 100. At the end, he's 100. And then this middle section, he goes to 26%. So how do we do that? Well, let's go back to the beginning, click on our keyframe, and clear everything out. It says Action will delete keyframes. Do you want to continue? Normally, you don't want to. I want to show you how to create them, so I will clear them out. The first thing you'll notice is that my clip got bigger. And this is just something you're going to have to deal with. When you're slowing down and speeding up a clip, it's going to start to move unless it has a clip beside it. If you're doing this kind of time remapping, try to do it on a layer above your normal cut. So if you've got your A/B cuts on video layer 1, do the time remapping on layer 2. That will allow you to change the speed and change the length of the clip without interfering with anything else. I just really have one clip here, so it's not really a problem. So buried down inside here is the speed setting for time remapping. And when I click on this, I can turn on a keyframe inside here. And if I want to change the full clip, I can just drag this up or down. So when I'm going down to 39%, you can see what happens. It's shifted that clip all the way over there. Now, if I want to add a keyframe in here and change it to ramp from one speed to another, I'm holding down the Control key or the Command key on the Mac. You see it changes to a plus, and I click inside here. Notice this very specific style of keyframe. It's actually got a split inside it. So right now we're at 100% on both sides. I'm going to go back over here where I want him to slow down and also click, and then back at 100%, click again. So the first one is 100%, that one's set. This one's going to be 536%, I think I set. So notice that when I click and drag without any keyboard shortcut, no modifiers, I'm clicking and dragging, making the clip faster, it gets shorter. That's just the law of physics, folks. So he's going from 100% to 532% to 25%. And if we look inside here, I'm just going to zoom in, and you see a quick change from fast to slow. But if I click inside here and drag, then I'm now setting this as a ramp. And if I want, I've got a little Bezier handle in here so I can really smooth this out. So it's going from 536 to 25% that quickly. And I could do to the other ones. So it's, let me just zoom in on that one again. There we go. And it's going to go slow back to 100%. All right. So now let's look at that. When I hit play, it goes up to 500, then really slow, and then finally back to 100% on the end. So a couple of things that you can do on top of this, if you hold down the Control key, and we add a keyframe and drag it. Oops, I gotta make sure that I'm clicking on the right thing. You'll notice that it will put these little chevrons in there. That is backwards. So he's going forwards, he's going backwards, he's going all over the place. And if we take this down to 0, then we will actually, or 1%, we'll actually have him looking like he's on a freeze frame. So although it's 1%, it's not really moving 1%. It's moving very slow and giving you a still frame. Okay, so that's all speed ramping is inside here. We call it time remapping inside Premiere Pro, and we've actually made this compatible with After Effects. So if I take this clip with these settings and choose copy, and we go over to After Effects where I have a comp waiting the exact same settings, and I paste, you'll notice there's my keyframes right inside here. So it's the exact same setting. I'm just going to hit my 0 key and preview this to RAM. So we can send this back over to After Effects and tweak it inside here, or if we wanted to add some more effects on top of this. So there's our new composite with him going slow, super fast, and then very slow. All right, so this is great, but if you're like me, this little stuttering of his arm when you've got it really slowed down here, 25% or less, doesn't look natural. You want a really smooth interpolation or adding of keyframes. And there's only one way to do that, and that's Timewarp. Timewarp is a specific feature of Adobe After Effects, so you've got to do it in After Effects if you want this effect. So I'm just rendering this now, and again, you just see simple keyframes down there where I'm choosing the different speeds. Starts out at 100, goes quite fast, quite slow, and watch his arm right near the end. This is where you'll see all the interpolation or adding of frames. So there he is as fast, and then this is the payoff right there. Wow, that's beautiful. Super fast and super slow. So when you're doing the fast motion, it doesn't really matter if you're doing this in After Effects or in Premiere Pro. The results are about the same. You can't really tell the frame blending at that point. But the final result of this arm right here, I mean, look at that. That's incredible. So this is using Timewarp. So if I go over here to my effects and type in Timewarp, you'll see it in here in my effects, and when we choose this and look at our effects controls, we've got enormous control in here for that, where you can adjust speed, and we're using pixel motion. That's what makes this look the best. Frame mix and frame blending is what both the time remapping has, both in After Effects and Premiere Pro, but pixel motion is basically using vector information and building new frames in between those two arms so they don't just stutter from one to another. It's building new frames inside. You can get that gorgeous smooth action feeling inside there. So I guarantee you there's a bunch of skateboarders out there that want this super slow motion done, a bunch of music videos. So whether you're using Premiere Pro time remapping or Timewarp inside After Effects, Creative Suite CS5 Production Premium 5.5 is really your tool to save you a lot of time.